Alright guys, we got a Honda Accord 3-liter. We got a problem on the power steering pump here, noise. You can tell it was replaced before with that part number right there. It looks like it's a used one from the auto wrecking. So the guy came in here and the noise is still back, especially when it's starting on the beginning of the day, on the cold day. Show you a video here on the side, and that's how that sound look like. So on the low RPM, it shows a really bad noise on the lower RPM, and then the steering wheel, it's hard to move the wheel left and right. And but if you're driving, it seems like it's okay. So it's gonna quickly replace this power steering pump right here. I'm gonna show you a quick diagnose, but on my scan tool Autel, it's not showing any power steering circuit of like the pressure on the power steering pump right here. There's a sensor on this power steering line, I believe, but it's not showing anything on my Autel. So it's gonna quickly take this belt and then power steering pump after. Alright, so before you take out the old pump, make sure double check that you order the right one. It goes in like this. Yeah, the pressure hose right here on the top, and then the return hose on the side. And by the look of it, we're gonna have to take out that pulley, the nut in the middle, and put it on to this new pump. And then the kit came with 2 O-rings, 1 pressure, and I believe 1 return. We're gonna take out this belt right here. I just used a 14mm socket, low profile, with this flat end, kind of like a pry bar style ratchet wrench. Just gonna go forward and then take out the belt. On the removing procedure, it's showing that you have to take out this bracket right here, but who knows if we need to take those out. We'll see. Alright, we're not gonna take out the hoses first. It's gonna be a big mess if you do that. So we're just gonna take out the bolt down here and then the bolt on the top. This is a 12mm. Just gonna crack it loose, and then we'll just use our finger to take it out. Alright guys, so I just used this small little ratchet here. 12mm socket is what I used to put that, to take out that bolt down there. I crack it loose already, so it fits in like this, and just keep ratcheting it. Alright, so when that's loose, just use your finger to take out the bolt. Same thing on the back end over here. And then the last one right down here. Alright, so you can see it's loose now. Now we're gonna take out the 2 hoses. Alright, 2 bolts right there, 10mm. Take it out. It's gonna be a big mess, so make sure put a rag on the side so you catch all those leaking oil. Alright, so make sure to hang that hose up so it won't drip back into the engine bay. Alright, here we go. So I'm gonna take out the return line is next. Alright, put the rag down here because it's gonna leak again. Alright, so here we go. This is the old pump right here. We're gonna be replacing this with the new one. So we had to take out that nut right there. I believe that's a, yes, this is a 3/4 socket right here, a wrench that you can put, and then just use the impact to take that out. Alright guys, so here's a new pump. This is time to install on the vehicle here. Line it up just like that, and then we're gonna torque this thing to spec. The 2 bolts, there's a chart right here. 2 bolts right there. Torque that to spec is a 22 newton meter or 16 foot-pounds. Or if you want to go to inch pounds like I got here, is 190 inch pound. So it's gonna quickly torque that to spec here. That's done. And then the bottom one is, you're gonna have to little problem on the bottom here because it's hard to reach. There you go. Alright, those 2 bolts are torqued to spec. Let's move on to the next step. Alright guys, so let's put the O-ring in here into this power steering pressure line hose right here. Let's quickly lube up a little bit while you're installing this to the pump. Let's do a little bit of wiggle. There we go. Just bottoming it out, and then we'll torque this to spec. Alright, 53 inch pounds right here. There's 1. And here's 2. Alright, so we're steering the wheel lock to lock, left and right, because we are bleeding. We're taking out the old fluid out. It's a dirty fluid right there, and it's a red fluid. Somehow they put a red fluid on here. And Honda, it's supposed to be clear Honda fluid. So we're gonna put clear fluid in here. Make sure this reservoir is always on top. Okay, go ahead. Okay, we're gonna take out the old fluid out. Right there, it's coming up. Still red. And there you go. Look at that. Manual flush the power steering fluid out. Alright, so it looks like we finished the 2-liter bottle, and then you can see it's a little white now, but way better than the red fluid coming out of here. So so that's manually bleeding the power steering fluid out, replacing it with a clear one right there. The key is this thing has to be up on the top, and this thing has to be way below, and you plug that port right there so that it won't leak. Alright, so let's put everything back together now. This is ready to go, and then we'll start the engine. Alright guys, so we're gonna do the serpentine belt now. Make sure to get your diagram out, and then reroute all the belts on each pulley. Okay, there's mine, and then we're gonna hook the end on the power steering pulley. Alright, so before you let this one go, double check, make sure all the belts is all around the pulleys, especially the crank and AC way down there. Just go by feel. Same thing on the other side, and everything is looking good.